Why so many people over 60 eat these four foods every night and wake up seeing clearer? You're standing at a crosswalk. The light changes, but all you see is a blur of headlights and glowing shapes. You can't read the sign. You can't tell how far that car is. And in that split second, the world feels less safe than it did yesterday. If you're over 60, this might already sound familiar. But what if I told you this isn't just getting older? What if the fog, the glare, the dim shapes you see at night are actually your body quietly asking for help? And you've been walking past the answer every single day. Tonight, I'm going to show you four simple everyday foods, the kind you probably already have in your kitchen, that can help your eyes rest, repair, and even see more clearly by morning. No pills, no surgery. Just the right nourishment at the right time. And one of them is almost always forgotten, even though it may hold the biggest secret of all. So, stay with me for the next few minutes, because once you know what these foods can do for you, you might just look at your kitchen and your future in a whole new light. And to understand why this matters so much, let me tell you about one night when everything changed for someone who thought their vision loss was just normal aging. It was supposed to be a simple walk home. Mild air, the faint scent of rain on the pavement, the hush that settles over the neighborhood after dinner. At 74, Helen had walked this same route hundreds of times, from the little bookstore on Main Street, past the old church with its flickering porch light, down the lane lined with maple trees. But that night, something felt different. The street lamp ahead looked softer, almost hazy, as though someone had draped a thin veil over her eyes. The lines of the sidewalk seemed to blur into one another, and the shadows between houses felt deeper than she remembered. She heard a car in the distance. Its headlights appeared, two glowing orbs, but she couldn't tell how far away it was. Was it slowing down, speeding up? The uncertainty froze her in place. She waited for it to pass, heart pounding harder than the footsteps she took after. By the time she reached her driveway, she felt shaken. She'd never thought about her eyes this way before, as something that could betray her in the quiet moments between daylight and darkness. That night, she skipped her usual stop at the mailbox. The next evening, she decided not to go out at all. Weeks later, she caught herself making excuses. "It's too chilly tonight. I'll walk tomorrow." But deep inside, she knew the truth. It wasn't the weather. It wasn't the walk. It was the growing unease of stepping into a world that no longer looked as safe or as clear as it once had. And here's the thing. Helen's story isn't rare. It's happening quietly, invisibly, to millions of people over 60. They're not just losing sharpness in their vision. They're losing little freedoms, one at a time. Skipping a walk, avoiding an evening drive, passing on a dinner out because they don't want to walk to the car in the dark. But here's what no one told Helen, and maybe no one has told you either. The changes she was feeling weren't inevitable. They weren't just old age. There are hidden forces quietly stealing clarity from the eyes, and once you know what they are, you can fight back. Because the moment you can name the thieves, you can start taking back what they've stolen. When Helen finally spoke to her doctor, she expected to hear the same tired phrase, "It's just part of getting older." But instead, she learned something startling. The fog she saw at night, the halos around headlights, the way shadows seemed to swallow the edges of the sidewalk. None of it appeared suddenly. It had been building quietly, almost invisibly, for years. And the culprits? They're not what you might think. I call them the silent thieves. They don't crash through your door. They don't announce themselves. They slip in slowly, day after day, until one evening you realize you've lost something precious. The first thief is oxidative stress, tiny bursts of damage that happen every time your eyes are exposed to light, pollution, or even the natural process of burning energy. On its own, your body repairs much of this damage. But with age, that repair slows, and the waste starts to build up. The second thief is chronic inflammation. Not the kind that makes your eyes red or sore, but a quieter kind. Deep in the tiny blood vessels and tissues that feed your retina. It's like a slow-burning ember you can't feel, but it steadily weakens the very structures that keep your vision sharp. And the third thief? Deficiency. A slow starvation of the specific nutrients your eyes need to heal themselves at night. Antioxidants, vitamins, minerals. Without them, the natural repair cycle falters, like a craftsman trying to work without tools. Here's the hardest truth. You won't always feel these thieves working. They don't cause sudden pain. Instead, they take away clarity in fragments. A little more blur at dusk. A little more glare when you're driving. A little less contrast when you're reading in the evening. Until eventually, you begin to change your life around the limitations, without even realizing it. But here's the hopeful part. They can be stopped, and not with expensive surgeries or endless prescriptions. Often, the most powerful weapons are quiet, natural, and already in your kitchen, if you know how to use them. And tonight, I'm going to show you 4 of the most overlooked nighttime healers. Foods so simple you might pass them every day, without knowing they could be protecting your eyes while you sleep. Think of your eyes tonight as a garden that's been through a long summer. The soil a bit dry, the roots tired, the leaves dulled by wind and heat. If you want that garden to bloom again by morning, you don't flood it with chemicals. You feed it gently, naturally. And that's exactly what these 4 nighttime healers do. They work in the quiet hours, in the same rhythm as your body's natural repair cycle. So when morning comes, your vision greets you like a clear window instead of a fogged one. 1. The creamy protector, plain Greek yogurt. It's unassuming, a small bowl of plain Greek yogurt. No bright colors, no fancy label, but inside it's carrying an army of friendly bacteria, probiotics that travel from your gut to your eyes, through a pathway scientists call the gut-retina axis. They fight the hidden inflammation that clouds your vision. They calm the tiny blood vessels that feed your retina. And because Greek yogurt is rich in vitamin A, calcium, and zinc, it delivers the raw materials your cornea needs to stay smooth, and your optic nerve needs to fire signals clearly. But here's my favorite part. It digests easily, so it doesn't wake your body with a sugar spike. Instead, it whispers, "Rest now. I'll take care of things while you sleep." Margaret, one of my patients, called it her evening peace offering to her eyes. 3 weeks after adding just half a cup before bed, she told me she stopped dreading mornings. That gritty, cloudy feeling was gone. 2. The gentle balancer, banana. Next, a fruit you've probably had 1,000 times without realizing its hidden gift: the banana. To most, it's just a snack. But in your eyes, it's a regulator. Bananas are rich in potassium, a mineral that keeps the fluid pressure inside your eyes stable, protecting you from the silent buildup that can lead to damage over time. And tucked inside each banana is tryptophan, the quiet chemical that helps your brain make melatonin, your sleep hormone. Without deep, restorative sleep, your eyes can't perform their nightly repair work. Charles, 68, swapped his late-night cookies for half a banana. "Doc," he told me with a grin, "it's like I woke up and the windshield was finally clean." 3. The ancient shield: dates. Then there's the date, a food so ancient it was carried by warriors and cherished by kings. Sweet, yes, but its sweetness is paired with powerful protectors: lutein and zeaxanthin. These pigments settle in the center of your retina, where they act like built-in sunglasses, filtering harmful blue light and guarding against oxidative stress. They've been keeping human vision safe for thousands of years, and they can do the same for you. Denise, a retired florist, had stopped driving at night because headlights felt like daggers in her eyes. Just 2 dates before bed, paired with better hydration, and within a month she made her first safe night drive in years. 4. The tiny powerhouse: sunflower seeds. Finally, the smallest of them all, sunflower seeds. Just a spoonful carries more vitamin E than almost any other snack. Plus selenium and healthy fats to help your body absorb every last nutrient you've just eaten. Think of vitamin E as a shield, catching and neutralizing the free radicals that would otherwise chip away at your retina cell by cell. It's quiet work, but essential. Harold, 73, told me he used to reach for his eye drops the moment he woke up. After adding sunflower seeds to his nightly bowl, he forgot where he'd even put them. Now, knowing these healers is one thing, but weaving them into a habit you can actually keep every night, that's where the real magic happens. And it only takes 3 minutes. You've just met the 4 quiet healers. But here's the truth. Most people never turn knowledge into habit. They nod, they think that's good to know, and then life gets in the way. Meanwhile, their eyes keep slipping further into that foggy, uncertain darkness. I don't want that for you. And that's why I'm giving you something you can start tonight. A ritual so simple it takes less time than brushing your teeth, but so powerful it can set your eyes up for years of clearer mornings. I call it the 3-minute vision ritual. Step 1. The foundation. Start with half a cup of plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt in a small bowl. This is your base. Smooth, calm, and rich with probiotics that quiet inflammation and feed your retina the nutrients it craves. Think of it as laying a soft blanket over your eyes before they rest. Step 2. The gentle lift. Next, slice half a ripe banana, not too green, not too brown. Layer the slices over the yogurt. Here, you're adding potassium to steady the pressure inside your eyes, and tryptophan to whisper to your brain, it's time to sleep deeply. Without that deep sleep, your eyes can't run their full repair cycle. Step 3. The ancient guard. If you want a touch of natural sweetness, add 1 or 2 soft dates, pitted. These bring lutein and zeaxanthin straight to the center of your vision, shielding it from the harsh blue light that chips away at clarity. Imagine a tiny guard standing watch over your eyesight through the night. Step 4. The final shield. Finish with a small spoonful of unsalted sunflower seeds sprinkled on top. This is your last line of defense, vitamin E and selenium working through the night, catching and neutralizing the free radicals that could silently damage your retina. The experience. Now pause. Look at what you've made. This isn't just a snack. It's a commitment to your future self. You've turned 4 ordinary foods into a shield, a repair crew, and a lullaby for your eyes. The whole process takes less than 3 minutes. No stove, no complicated prep. And yet, night after night, it gives your body exactly what it needs to fight back against the slow, creeping loss that most people don't even notice until it's too late. Urgent pull forward. Here's the catch. This only works if you make it a habit. Skip it, and the silent thieves we talked about earlier will keep working. Do it nightly, and in a few short weeks, you may notice the difference the moment you open your eyes. And just wait until you hear the stories of people who took this small step and found themselves seeing a different world. Because when you hear what happened for them, you'll realize this isn't just about eyesight. It's about freedom. I've seen people of all ages over 60 try this ritual, but I want you to meet 3 of them, because their stories might just be the nudge you need to start tonight. The first story, Eleanor's first morning without fog. Eleanor, 72, a retired school librarian, used to dread her mornings. She would open her eyes and feel like she was looking through a frosted window. For months, she blamed her age, until she decided to try the 3-minute vision ritual. 2 weeks in, she told me, I woke up and realized I could read the time on my clock without squinting. I just sat there in bed and cried. That morning changed the way she moved through her day. She went back to her early walks around the block, greeting neighbors she hadn't seen in years. The second story, Richard's night drives. Richard, 69, gave up night driving after one too many close calls at intersections. Headlights felt like knives, and road signs melted into glowing blurs. He tried stronger glasses, anti-glare coatings. Nothing worked. But after a month of making his yogurt, banana, date, and sunflower seed bowl part of his evening, something shifted. I drove to my sister's house last week, he said, and for the first time in years, the road felt safe again. It wasn't magic. It was consistent nourishment, night after night, giving his eyes the materials to repair what years had worn down. The third story, Maria's garden. Maria, 75, loves her roses, but she had started missing the tiny details, the new buds, the gentle color changes before a bloom. She thought those moments were gone for good. 6 weeks after starting the ritual, she called me just to say, I saw the tiniest droplets on my petals this morning, and they sparkled. That sparkle wasn't just in the garden. It was back in her voice, her laughter, her way of seeing the world. These stories aren't rare. They're happening quietly, in kitchens and bedrooms across the country. And they didn't start with expensive treatments or risky procedures. They started with one small choice, repeated over time. The only difference between you and them is whether you decide to begin. And maybe as you hear these stories, you're wondering, how many moments have I missed? Just because I waited too long to take care of my eyes. I want you to know, it's never too late to start. No matter how long your vision has been fading, There's still light waiting for you to find it again. And that's why I want to leave you with this final message. If you take just one thing from our time together today, let it be this: you are not helpless. Your vision is not a ticking clock running out. It's a living, breathing part of you that responds to care, to patience, to small choices made with love. Even if you've felt your world grow dimmer, even if you've told yourself, that's just age, it doesn't have to be your ending. Because I've seen it, again and again. People who thought the blur was permanent wake up one morning and realize the light is back. The road signs are clear. A grandchild's smile has edges again. And the best part, it didn't come from something expensive or out of reach. It came from something you can start tonight, with what's already in your kitchen. I want you to imagine something. Tomorrow morning you open your eyes. The numbers on the clock are sharp. The sunlight through the curtains feels soft, not blinding. And for the first time in a long while, you trust what you see. That's not just about eyesight. That's about freedom, confidence, independence. And you deserve every bit of it. Final emotional push. So here's my challenge to you. Don't let this just be another video you watch and forget. Tonight, give your eyes the gift they've been waiting for. Then share this with someone you love. Someone who deserves to feel safe and clear in their own world again. Because no one should walk through life in a blur. Not when the path can be made clear. If this touched you, let it touch someone else too. Click share. Send it to a friend, a parent, a neighbor. And if you're new here, subscribe. Because each week we uncover ways to stay strong, sharp, and independent for years to come. Take care of yourself. Sleep well tonight. And when the morning comes, may you see it in all its beauty.